May Nigeria never happen to you. This is the statement that many Nigerians will use to briefly summarize the things that would rather be considered extraordinary or out of this world, to be specific. It is not clear if they are out of this world, whether they should be found in Mars or Jupiter, maybe planet Pluto. No one really knows. If you think you have heard it, no, you haven't. Something very crazy happened in Nigeria this week that is just ending. Sit back and relax, and let me tell you exactly why you should always pray that Nigeria does not happen to you. The story of Nigerian actor Junior Pope, also known as Pope Obumeme Odonwodo, is a demonstration of the unfortunate things that Nigeria, the giant of Africa, can sometimes offer its people. Junior Pope was born May 7, 1984, in Bamenda, Cameroon. By the time of his demise, he was a prominent Nigerian actor known for his work in the Nollywood industry. Although he was born and raised in Cameroon, he deeply identified himself with his Nigerian roots, specifically from the Ukihe tribe in Enugu State. He completed his primary and secondary education in Cameroon before moving to Nigeria, where he graduated from the University of Nigeria, Nsukka, with a degree in accountancy. In his personal life, Junior Pope was married to Jennifer Awale, and as a couple had 3 sons, Jason, Jaden, and Jemon Odonwodo. He was known for his strong family values and had often been vocal about his dedication to his wife and children. He started his acting career in 2006, and by the time he lost his life, he was in the Anam River, heading to play a role in a movie he was featuring. When I said that Nigeria should never happen to you at the start of this video, I really meant it. Junior Pope headed to play a role in a movie in the Anam River. On his way, he was on call, with no life jacket and in a speedy boat. While on phone and jokingly, he loudly kept warning the boat rider to go slow because he was the only son and child of his parents, a husband and a father of 3 sons. The boat won't heed to his warning, and it is even being alleged that the driver had headphones on. Who knows whether he was on a call or even maybe he was busy listening to music. That is why he didn't hear what Junior Pope was trying to tell him. No one will ever know. One of the survivors narrated the story of how the speeding boat hit a canoe that was headed towards them. It is being alleged the survivor had warned the boat driver that there was canoe headed to their direction, but with his headphones on, clearly there is no way he would ever have heard him. What followed is totally unimaginable. The boat hit the canoe and capsized, and Junior Pope and other members of the crew dropped in the Anam River. Nigeria, the giant of Africa, had no one to rescue him from drowning, no divers or Anam River security. Junior Pope did not know how to swim, so he needed help to get out of the water alive. Some fishermen helped him using a fishing net and brought him out alive. Junior Pope, determined to live, he emerged from the Anam River alive, but the people around him could not perform any first aid to save him. There was no CP performed to remove water from his lungs or even help him to live. Hard as it is to imagine in this 21st century, as much information in social media and movies on saving life of someone who almost drowned, no one used their common sense. The madness started. The people that saved him from the Anam River rushed him to an herbalist, and the herbalist was the one that advised them to take him to the hospital. All this time there was no ambulance, and a crowd was building up around poor helpless Junior Pope's body. People were just busy recording with their smartphones all the happenings and helter-skelters of ignorance at its best and common sense lost. Junior Pope was still fighting hard to live. Instead of the people that carried him to take him to the hospital for treatment or doing CP for him to breath, Junior Pope was taken to the mortuary. Hard as it is to think about it, the mortuary attendant told them that Junior Pope was still alive, and instead of asking them to take him to the hospital, the mortuary attendant sent them back to the herbalist to perform another ritual on Junior Pope. So sad, Junior Pope ended up losing his life as educated people ran with his body between mortuary and herbalist. A life was lost for nothing as people pursued some water spirit or whatever they sought. No one will ever know. What followed was sadness gripping the country, and as usual there was a huge rush to send condolences messages and blame him for going into the Anam River without a life jacket. Nollywood for not being careful, and that is how a prominent actor that kept people around the world glued on their screens to get entertained went to be with the Lord. Of course, there were questions why movie producers did not pay attention to safety of actors and crew members. Other questions are why people that carried Junior Pope did not perform any CP on him or take Junior Pope directly to the hospital for professional help. An herbalist, most of whom are not even educated, were their first point to seek help. Why not a pastor or even a priest? Something is definitely so wrong with the Nigerian society. The obsession with spirituality and herbalists is just a demonstration of how much failure has been orchestrated by politicians, fake men of God, or even poverty. It is being alleged that Junior Pope's community expects that more traditions be performed on his body before burial. Look at how the failure to wear a life jacket has caused a prominent actor so much pain even to his lifeless body. With all the social media, education, and even after the community living around the Anam River, no one even imagined a CP or mouth-to-mouth to save Junior Pope. Somehow people that have made it in life are never supposed to lose their lives while young, and if they do, it is said that it is because there had to be some spiritual connection, even when it is clear that there was negligence on safety, a creeping fear, and a glorified worship of traditional spirituality, even when the world has advanced so much is hard to imagine. The obsession of Nigerians with rituals and herbalist powers has gripped the society and is now being perpetuated across other African countries. Taking Kenya as an example, there has been allegations that some Nigerians in Kenya are using Kenyan women for traditional spiritual practices. As to whether the so-called spiritual practices are real or not, fear grips everyone when Nigerian spiritualists are mentioned. Besides the existence of true salvation and Christianity in Nigeria, and pastors having so much control of so many Nigerians in their giant tabernacles, Kenyan women have also allowed the fear of spiritual herbalists from whom Nigerians seek help grip them to the extent that if care is not taken, similar lack of common sense could arise in the long term. People thinking more of sacrifices rather than facing the actual problem is really a big deal in Nigeria and Kenya at the moment, to be specific. It is so sad, and this will be remembered by the whole of Africa and world in general, planet Earth to be specific, with a heavy heart on how Nigeria, the giant of Africa, could not save the life of Junior Pope with just a simple CP or mouth-to-mouth first aid, or even rush him to a hospital for treatment. With deep sadness, may God rest the soul of Junior Pope in eternal peace, and our sincere condolences from us here at Discover Love and Revive to his wife, parents and sons, fans, friends and relatives,